Hello, Dave and Tim here for the single malt review, and it's rum time again. A few episodes ago, we looked at Appleton Estate's signature blend. Now we're moving up in the world to a higher shelf. What have we got, Tim?
Well, we're only going one shelf up. There's more shelves up there, but we're taking it one rung at a time. It's the Appleton Estate Reserve Blend, which is one of their new labels. This used to be the 8-year-old, stated 8-year-old, which made it one of the distinctly less common age statement rums floating around. Sadly, they have decided to lose that 8-year-old age statement and have gone with more of a blanket suggestion that this rum is better than the one below, which will give them the benefit of the doubt because it is better, funnily enough, in addition to being more expensive. But it is a bit of a pity that it no longer sports its age statement. With a bit of research, I found that it's in fact got an average age, that's a very rum thing to say, of 6 years old. So we've lost sort of 2 in the rebrand, but never mind. It's still, I think, a pretty good rum. But let's do it properly and find out for ourselves.
It's been coloured very dark, much darker than the signature blend.
Yes, that's probably pretty strategic there. Sadly, coloured rums, as with most rum, they're certainly wanting to insinuate that this one is a little better than the one below it. Ooh, doesn't smell too bad though, does it?
Yeah. It's got a bit of a harsh, like ethanol-driven rum essence character to it, but richer, sweeter, heavier than the signature blend.
It is nothing if not pungent. It's not subtle, not in any way, but what it brings in quantity. There is huge demerara sugar. If you've ever sort of decided to have a wee crunch on your sachet of coffee crystals, as in the sugar that goes in coffee, not instant coffee, I cannot recommend that. This is very, very reminiscent of that dark cane sugar, which is a very, very Jamaican thing. And so potent is it, it's difficult to get the subtleties underneath it. There is spice here and there is wood, but...
It's a little ginger cake, sort of sweet, buttered ginger.
There you go. There you go. It's funny how sometimes you need to hear something before you can smell it. Ginger is what this brings. My nose just needed that little bit of a push. There is quite strong, fresh ginger on here. Not even crystallized ginger, but quite fresh, sort of freshly sliced ginger root, which is, now that I think about it, doing a great deal to freshen up what would be a rather cloying nose on its own. Let's see what's on the palate.
Oh, boy howdy, we got some ginger.
It is not as smooth as I expected. It's a little smoother than the one below, as you would probably hope, but that is a keen flavour, you would call it. That has got some edges on it, and they're not all bad. As Dave says, the ginger is real in the palate here. It is very, very real, and it's making it quite zingy, quite tangy, which is quite unusual for
much less sweet than I expected.
Appleton rum.
And yeah, that passing comment before on the nose of the hot buttered ginger loaf, I'm getting that again here in abundance on the tongue.
Now that I'm all the way in here, the spices are beginning to reveal themselves a bit more clearly. There is quite a lot of
cloves.
There is a lot of clove. There's a little cinnamon, and there's quite a lot of mace in here as well, and that's quite interesting. Mace is something that is quite distinctive when you know the profile of mace, but it's something that almost never appears in Scotch whisky. It's just something it does not bring. So from that we can sort of extrapolate that that's something that comes from the sugarcane used to distill rum, because the wood is more or less the same. This will have been aged in a sort of a mix of bourbon and sherry casks, very much like its cousin over in Scotland, which is our usual stock and trade. But huge spiciness, sort of under that layer of first demerara and then ginger. If you delve a little further, it's a very, very spicy mix. ooh, it's almost tastes like it might want a little bit of water, or dare I say an ice cube. It's pretty punchy for 40%. Wouldn't quite go so far as to say it's raw, although someone less charitable than I might call it a bit raw. It's more that it's very, very lively. It's vibrant is probably a better term to place on it. It's a very, very vibrant whiskey, and it's one that keeps your palate very much awake and alive. You'll never go to sleep drinking this one, or at least not for a little while. Depends how much you have, I suppose.
It has remarkably big heat and a big spicy mouth-filling flavour from something modelled at the modest, if standard, 40%.
Well, this is a surprise. I was expecting something at least halfway to the very, very smooth, very, very mellow, laid-back 12-year-old, which you'll find our review of a little further down the list of episodes. This is really quite a different thing. I'd say it has a lot more in common to the other no-age statement, the signature blend, only, if anything, it's more youthful would be the wrong word. It's even more racy, even more tangy, zingy than that one, despite it being of an older, albeit average age, which makes me having to do a little bit of a back step in how I was going to mark this particular rum. Rather than compare it to the 12, I'll compare it to the signature blend, and I will give this one an 82. It's getting there. It's not nearly as good as the 12, I think, but that said, it's quite a different thing, and I think I drink this in quite a different way. So we'll leave it there. What do you think?
This would be a perfect rum for one of those blisteringly hot summer evenings. This in a tumbler with an ice cube, sipped slowly.
Or dare I say it, with one of your new age pineapple infused drinks that I don't tend to drink, but will appreciate the quality of if someone sort of hoists mine in my direction. This would be, I think, with that very, very spicy, very sharp, gingery sort of goodness going on in here, I think this would blend quite well with a sharp, juicy, acid cocktail.
Whereas the signature blend was, in my view, a bit overwhelmed by a lot of very, very fresh new spirit flavours, a lot of white rum. This one is leaps and bounds ahead. It's still youthful and vibrant, but it's got that spicy depth and character and warmth, which puts it up to an 83 from me.
It's surprising. It's surprising. I'd say for your sipping rum, you're still safer with the 12 years old. But if you want something that's still versatile, that you still don't have to feel too bad about chucking an ice cube in, or indeed blending it in with some sort of exotic island cocktail, this may be the rum for you. If you just want something a bit more interesting, a bit more intriguing than the signature blend, this one I think would be a pretty easy recommendation.
I would disagree on a cocktail front. This is good on its own. This really is a fine sipping rum by itself.
Well, there you are. Versatile and still fairly well priced. They're beginning to creep up there, but certainly nothing like the 12-year-old, which is still perfectly affordable as rums go. Sadly, there's nothing between this one and the 12-year-old as yet. There's a few more sort of harder to get ones, but after the 12, you're sort of looking at the 21, and that's a bit of an expensive proposition, but I still intend to get my hands on one sooner or later. We'll just have to see. But at any rate, this has been the Single Malt Review once again. We should almost maybe rename it, doing so many rums, but never mind, we probably won't. That would mean going into the channel settings. So, in the meantime, keep safe. Slanger. We'll have something similarly intriguing very soon.